Well, already the music is suitably edgy for a Warlock. And we have Amelia Tyler once again. Not that I'm complaining. Rituals. Nobody remembers to do rituals in D&D. I mean, so far, it looks like a video game trailer. Oh, Hexblade, maybe. Yeah, this music is 100% exactly what every Warlock player imagines when they're casting Eldritch Blast for the 15th time in a row. That was probably an Eldritch Blast right there. Oh, hang on, he cast a spell. Ooh, Warlocks don't do that. Beholder, nice. A Warlock would get destroyed by a Beholder, so I don't know why she's looking more confident about it. Like, a Beholder could just shut down everything a Warlock's capable of doing. Launch 2027. I'm not going to be alive in 2027. Right then, so let's talk about that trailer. From what we understand so far, I'm looking at an IGN article, so take this with a grain of salt. It's being made by Invoke Studios. We are cooked. We are so cooked. Originally, when I was looking through this, I hadn't heard Invoke Studios before, and I thought, okay, that's maybe they're the ones that made the old Dark Alliance games. No. They're the ones that made the absolute flop that was so bad it's shutting down. That's Invoke Studios, and they're the ones making this game. Now, I'm not going to be a complete Debbie Downer about it, right? Let's have some hope, okay? Everyone needs hope in their lives. It does look like they're going to try and make it more in the style of the old Dark Alliance games. It does say third-person action-adventure. Then again, the new Dark Alliance was also third-person, if I remember rightly. I've kind of repressed most of that game from my memory, to be honest. I think it was third-person. Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, I might be wrong. Either way, I really hope they make it in the style of the old games, because when I initially saw third-person action-adventure, I thought Diablo-esque, which would work pretty well for what it's going for. And the old Dark Alliance games were kind of Diablo-esque, in a sense. Doesn't mention isometric, though, so it doesn't fill me with a lot of hope. It's probably going to end up like the new one, isn't it? Oh, no. Now, I actually had a completely different recording where I was a lot more hopeful for this game, and then I realized what Invoke Studios was. It's over. But let's talk about the actual game itself, right? Let's pretend Invoke Studio, they've learned from their mistakes, so they're going to make a great game this time. So what do I want this game to be about? It does say that there's going to be a lot of player agency in it, so solving problems using magic in like multiple different ways. That's good. Like, I hope they actually succeed in doing that. It's going to be stepping into the Warlock fantasy, which, in my mind, a Warlock fantasy is picking your patron and your subclass and customizing your spells. I hope they have at least some of that in this game, right? If it's just generic action slot where you're just blasting Eldritch Blast, I mean, I guess that is the Warlock fantasy if you think about it, right? You're just blasting Eldritch Blast 52 times in a row. But you're going to be playing as a pre-made character called Kati. It does say she goes down the path of the Warlock as it goes with, as she forms bonds with otherworldly beings known as patrons, and the relationship between Kati. Is it Kati or Kati? IGN, please make up your mind. I'm going to go with Kati because it sounds better than Kati, but dear Lord, IGN, like, you've fallen off a cliff. But it does say that Kati and her patron will be one of the campaign's core stories. It does sound then that the patron is already made up. I guess that makes sense for a video game. I don't really know how they would let you pick other patrons in a game like this. If the patron's going to have a role in the story anyway. Kind of like Will in Baldur's Gate 3. You don't pick Will's patron, but you can still pick his subclass. So hopefully they let you do something like that. I know it's not going to play like a Dungeons & Dragons game. There's going to be no dice rolling in it. But at the very least, if I want to go melee focused, like, they should let me pick Hexblade. They did show a sword being summoned into the woman's hand in the trailer, so maybe Hexblade is a thing. But they need to lean into the Dungeons & Dragons fantasy and not make it like the new, I'm going to say in quotation marks, Dark Alliance game. It's not actually that new anymore. Which was just trying to be Vermintide, but shit. And it kind of, from what I'm looking at, it just seems like they're doing it again. It honestly looks, it's the same studio. Third-person action adventure. Like, I mean, they do say that it's open world. So I'm picturing like Diablo 4's open world. Where it's not really open world, but it's like sort of open world. If it is fully open world, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. To be honest, at least it would be different to Dark Alliance if it was open world. And as different as they can be from the latest Dark Alliance, the better. Am I excited for this game? Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the gameplay reveal in 2026, because right now, we don't know what it's going to be like. I am dreading the idea that it's going to be like the latest Dark Alliance. I don't know why they would even bother doing that. Like, who in their right mind looked at the latest Dark Alliance and thought, yeah, let's do that again? It was a complete disaster. So I'm hoping that someone has some actual sense and thinks, let's not do that again, and let's try to make this more along the lines of the old Dark Alliance games. I know it's not a Dark Alliance game, it's a Warlock game, it's a new thing. The only problem with WotC making this game, though, is there's so many classes in D&D that everyone's now going to have the expectation of them making a video game for every class. Like, I joked saying, I hope there's a sequel called Paladin, because I like playing Paladins, but that's going to be 25 years off, because if they're trying to make a game for every single class, we're going to be here forever.